Greetings, Internet. My name is Chris. I decided to show a quick build of what I was running in the previous video that I showed you. If you have not seen the previous video, it is a PvP video with some duels in it and a fight on top of one of the gates. I think it is the gate over here, Gate of Chim. But basically it's a very simple build. What I do for gear, I'll show you here in a second. What I do for gear, I'm just gonna take off my costume here, is I run 2-piece Vulcan Scoria. I have some pretty horrible traits on these. You can see sturdy on the helmet and reinforced on the shoulder piece. It's pretty bad, not gonna lie. I mean, it's pretty bad. Then I run 4-piece Martial Knowledge. Shirt is pretty bad trait as well. Who cares? Divines on the rest, I think. No, infused on the legs. Martial Knowledge is pretty good if you're stacking spell damage. And then 2-piece Adroitness for more spell damage. And then 2-piece Cyrodiil's Light. Or Light of Cyrodiil. For spell damage as well. For weapons, I just have 2 shitty Master Staves. You can see this one here has infused, which is not the greatest trait, and this one here has defending. Now, my main hand is, or my main weapon is the Fire Staff, because I'm a Dragonknight. So pretty much all my bonuses go to fire. And the fact that I have fire also adds a dot on the enemy, because it can apply burning, which is a dot. And now this build heavily relies on dots because of the helmet here, and because that just works really well with a Dragonknight. But you can see here the helmet says it does a meteor deals 7.4 thousand damage. I don't know if it changes according to... Nope, it doesn't. 7.4 thousand flame damage, and then almost 3k flame damage to nearby enemies. This is really good. It has a 4% chance to proc when you're damaging an enemy with a damage over time, which is what we do all the time. So for the main bar here, you can see I run Force Pulse from the Destruction Tree. This is the 3rd ability? Yeah. It's pretty good, and the reason why I run Force Pulse is because this one chains from targets if they have burning on them. You can see up to 2 nearby enemies will take 1700 magic damage if they're already afflicted with burning, chilled, or concussed. So if they have a dot on them, basically this attack will just chain to that target, which is pretty cool. This actually works if you're fighting against sorcerers using the what's it called, Ball of Lightning, because even though the Ball of Lightning will take priority if you're trying to hit the sorcerer nearby, it will still chain to the sorcerer if he has a burning effect on him, for example. Second ability is Firing. I have Firing because this one just does more damage than the other one, I think. Affected enemies also have a 40% chance of being afflicted with the burning status effect, which is pretty cool as well. The other one lowers the health of the enemy by 10%, and I used to use that one because usually if people don't have a something like FTC showing their health in percentages or numbers, they get kind of freaked out because their health will drop what looks like a massive amount, even though it's only 10%. Third ability is Burning Embers. This is from the Ardent Flame. It's the second one. This one heals you when the effect ends, which is pretty cool, but that's not why you want it. You just want it because it's good. It's a good fire dot. Fourth ability is Engulfing Flames. This one is what you want to start out hitting your enemies with, because you can see it says affected enemies take 10% additional damage from flame attacks. So what I tend to do is hit them with this, and then go through these two, and then start basically just weaving my force pulse. The reason why I'm running force pulse and not molten whip is because force pulse does chain, and force pulse also has a long range on it. And trust me, you don't want to get into the whip if you're a squishy light armor build like I am. Fifth ability is Sea of Flames. I have this on both bars. My ultimate is Shooting Star. The reason why I have Shooting Star and not Ice Comet is actually because Shooting Star does more damage for me, because it is a fire damage attack. And it also gives you ultimate, which is pretty nice. And the damage over time that it places on the ground is like an AoE, is also fire damage. So it also gains buffs. I think it's from Kindling, yeah. Increases the damage of flame abilities burning effect by 66%. There's also one for increases the damage of flame-based area effect attacks or abilities, which is what this is as well. So that's why it does more damage than the Ice Comet for me. And I also like the idea that it gives you back ultimate. It's rare that you'll hit enough enemies to fully charge it, but it is possible. I just haven't tried it yet. For the second bar, I run Elemental Drain. This is Destruction Tree. It's a fourth ability. Elemental Drain is also called Weakness to Magic, I think, or Weakness to Elements before you morph it. The reason why I run this is because it's a good debuff on your enemy, because they will take a huge hit to their spell resistance. You can see it's 5k, which is pretty good unless they're cheating and using Nirnhoned gear, because Nirnhoned is pretty bugged at the moment. But this build will still do pretty well against Nirnhoned enemies. Second ability is Green Dragon Blood. This ability, you need to have it on your bar if you're a Dragon Knight in PvP, because it's so good, so good. It's a really overpowered self heal. It does 33% of your missing health, and you can spam it a lot. I have a lot of Magicka to use it. You can see I can just keep going, and I don't even stack Magicka that much. I usually tank with this tune, so you can see I have all my attributes in health. But still, with the way I'm set up and with the enchants on my gear, I still have 23k Magicka. It's a little bit more with the other one because it has infused on it. But it works well enough for this set. It's rare that you'll actually end up fighting long enough to run out of Magicka, and if you do, you can always drink a potion. Burning Talons, this one is a root. It's very nice. I like it a lot because it will root nearby enemies, and it will also add a DoT to them. And then there's also the synergy that nobody uses, the Impale. While enemies are held, allies can activate Impale to deal 4000 magic damage. Then I run Structured Entropy. This one should be on any magic caster build, because it gives you 20% increased spell damage, which is a lot. And this one also gives you max health. So you can see this is sort of my defensible bar. And that's sort of why I use the defending staff. To be honest, I could hop on. I could even pop on Sword and Shield, but I don't want to be that kind of Dragon Knight, because I see that too much already. It's just Dragon Knights in heavy armor or light armor or medium armor running a shield and then just being completely invincible. It's really boring. I don't like it. Sea of Flames again, because you don't want to... If it wasn't on the second bar, every time you swapped, you'd have to swap back and hit it again. I forgot to mention what this one does. This one basically acts like a Mage Light, except this will actually hit your enemies with a fireball. And you can see it deals, if you're hit by the fireball, it deals 3.5k flame damage over 8 seconds. And if a fireball kills an enemy, you have 116 Magicka returned. This is actually wrong, because you'll still get Magicka returned if you kill an enemy. It doesn't matter if the fireball kills it or not. Plus you will have the Destruction Expert, which also gives you Magicka when you kill a target with a Destruction Staff spell or weapon attack. Let's see, the second ultimate is Magma Shell. This one is, as I mentioned in a previous dueling video, this is the reason why I win most of my fights. It's an 11-second long ultimate that reduces all damage incoming to 3% of your max health. This means that any attack, doesn't matter which attack, you can get hit by a meteor and it'll still only do 3% of your max health. You don't want to be standing in AoE when you get this, and a DoT build against someone using magma armor, or magma shell, or corrosive armor, whichever one you have. A DoT build against someone using this is very effective, because that basically means that each one of your attacks is doing 3% of your enemy's max health. But if you're in a one-on-one, this usually means if I pop this, I'm invincible for 11 seconds. And what I tend to do is I'll pop it and then swap over to the other bar and then just fucking go to town. So I'll have some videos playing here as well. There's some pre-recorded ones I recorded a while back. But I just want to quickly go through the way I play this one. So I tend to start off with this off bar active, because I have more health. You can see if I swap around, my health goes up with about 2k, and that's because of the structured entropy. And then I have also my healing, just in case, like if I'm out riding, I like to have a heal ready if I get knocked off my horse or if someone hits me. It's just very useful. So what I usually do, like I'll find a target. Let's see, this one for example. So like I'll go up, I'll hit it with my elemental drain, my entropy. I can't root this one, and then I'll just hit it with my AoEs. You can see this target doesn't have that much health, so it's not really worth testing it on. We'll need a player for that, so I'll see if I can find a player. If not, I'll just show you some pre-recorded stuff. But yeah, this build works really well for me. There's a lot of times where you'll just be holding block and self-healing, but you'll still be killing your enemies because you have dots on them. And even just a little Sea of Flames will do a lot of damage. Like you wouldn't think it, but it adds a dot. Like I can show you here. Like let's say I engage the fight, but the guy's hitting very hard. I'm just gonna hold block and then just maybe use my my Talons here and just let it fucking die on its own. You can see in the top left corner that was like that's 2.3k DPS. If you can get that on a player, that's pretty good. You can probably get even higher on a player, but that's just blocking. Like it's really interesting, and it works really well. But for this build here, you don't have super high stamina, and because I'm not using a shield, my block does cost quite a lot. So you want to time your blocks for when they matter. For example, if someone is hitting you with a heavy attack like that, you would just want to hold block. Make sure it doesn't hurt you that much. People underestimate blocking in this game, I think, and some people just waste it on attacks that don't matter. But blocking is really good. You particularly know this if you're used to tanking, because when you block something, I don't remember how much of it you usually negate, but it's in my tanking gear it's about a fourth of the normal damage when I block, which is or maybe even less. But like it's very powerful, and it's a good way to survive even if you don't have that much survivability. If you just block the correct attacks, dodge the correct attacks, you're usually pretty well off. And then the fact that we have a self-heal that also gives us stamina works really well. For example, if I hit this one, you can see my stamina recovery goes up to 700. My recovery isn't that high, and I don't really care about recovery because I never really run out. If I was a sorcerer and I was using a lot of teleports, I would probably stack a little bit more recovery, but for this build you just want brute damage. You can see my spell damage, depending on which weapon I have, goes up to almost 2k. If I hit something with a with an entropy, I'll let you see it here. It goes up to 2.35, which is pretty good. So it's reliant on spell damage to do a lot of damage. If I could stack more Magicka, that would work really well too, because your attacks do more damage depending on how much Magicka you have, or stamina, depending on which one you stack. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut over to some videos. Thanks for watching.
Old Harbor Treb 22k.
Eggs. I think I'd have a lot more fun on my Sorkin there if I just completely spec'd him for PvP.
I think we got them, but they're...
Yeah.
Well, I'm in combat over here for some reason.
Yeah, there's a dual wield guy over here.
There's 2 people here. Kill 1 and 2.
Oh, did you leave that?
I'm still here.
Oh no, you're still there. Okay. I was getting into raid call and then everyone's gone. Sniped some guy, but he didn't die. Oh, I think you got him.
I'm killing...
Oh.
I just killed 2 people. Wee. Oh my god.